Good morning, folks. So this morning's little Trig bagging expedition starts off in the picturesque little village of Alnham in Northumberland. So it's been a lovely drive out here despite the weather, and we're going to head across the fields behind us there up onto the hill. Looks fairly easy to navigate. Number 11 in the book, Blackchester Hill. So we'll crack on and I'll bring you back en route. Can't really miss where to start from. There's a fork in the road with a big barn there for the farm, and we're going to head up this restricted byway. So as I was driving here, I was thinking, blimey, this is another bit of Northumberland that I've never been to. And it wasn't until I pulled up that I realised I'd been here once before, probably about 8 years ago. And it was when I had my first 4x4, and I didn't really understand properly what a green lane was and what wasn't. So I wasn't being reckless or completely irresponsible, but I came driving up this track here thinking it was a green lane and that you were allowed to. Anyway, you weren't, and then as I got up this hill it got a bit slippy and slidey, so I turned around and come back. No harm done. I'm just now working my way up to the summit, and there's obviously been a field of cows in here in the not too distant past. It's like a proper, it's not too boggy, but it's really, really uneven. So you can approach it from the other side. Oh, there's a pheasant. Just seen a buzzard as well. Ooh, this looks a boggy bit. You can approach it from the other side, and there's a footpath marked all the way up to the Trig. I just fancied making it a circular route rather than just a straight up and down. However, this bit is particularly boggy, and if you go your length here, yeah, you're going to end up stinking. So here we are, approaching the Trig. Looking quite bleak and desolate. The house just there. Bit of a quarry. And Simon's just in the distance on the horizon, with the sun trying to poke through. It's been a funny old drive up. There's been some very ominous dark clouds, almost Wizard of Oz darkness with nice bright rainbows. So one note with a lick of paint, this one, and the views are moderate. Only because of the blooming weather's so grey. It's turning out quite Peter Kay, very miserly. So behind us in this direction there's a house. That's the way I'm going to be walking back. There is a proper footpath that way, and then behind us just here is what looks like a bit of a quarry. Something I did fancy doing was just giving Scarpa a bit of a shout out for these walking boots. I've had them, probably walked, I reckon, in the region of 300 to 400 miles in them now, across all sorts of terrain. I did the coastal walk, I've been out doing my Trig bagging, I've been out just doing general hikes and stuff, and they've been absolutely brilliant. They're really comfy, you got a lot of support with them. Some of the ones I've been doing through woods and forests and that lately have been absolutely, there's been a lot of fallen trees and debris. When I've got back off my walks, they've been scratched to buggery, and to the point I thought, oh, I've wrecked them. And to be fair, just give them a little bit of a wash, let them dry, give them a polish, give them a dubbing, and they come up brand new. So thoroughly recommend them. I can't remember what I paid for them, which is frustrating. And I've got big kips, I've got like size 13s, so I always have a good mooch around the bargain bucket in Go Outdoors, because sometimes you can strike lucky, and with these I did. So yeah, thoroughly recommend Scarpa as a brand. I'm quite happy with this jacket and all. Peter Storm, again, it wasn't not you know, Berghouse or Rab or top of the range, but just as a lightweight breathable jacket, it's been really good. Again, I've had this on, well, all over winter. If I want to layer up, I'll put my down jacket, which isn't waterproof, underneath it, but it's breathable. And then I was always a bit of a skeptic about whether stuff really is breathable, but yeah, no, it's top job. The only thing I could do with is something with a bigger pocket, so that when I've got my GoPro on its selfie stick, it could just slide inside. It's always a little bit awkward, but nevertheless, it's okay. So we're just on our way back down now. I mean, it's quite a short walk this. I'm guessing it's only maybe a mile round, maybe a bit more. Came up on the far side, through about 3 fields, over to the Trig, and back down through another 3. But the weather's borderline now. A bit of wind, a bit of mizzly rain, nice gnarly tree. Oh yeah, we've got some proper rain going on there. Thankfully it's not windy though, so it's okay. It's quite an easy path down as well as a farmer's track, so it's a little bit uneven underfoot, but nothing to worry about. I've done a couple of trigs lately that I haven't videoed. I've had my son with me, who's a bit camera shy, so it's been pleasant that he's come out with us. And but he's away on a school trip today, so I was up at 3:30 this morning to get him dropped off, so I'm a little bit bleary eyed. But I did, I've done Hedgehoe Hill, which was a good one, and last weekend we did Wester Tor, via Easter Tor from sort of Old Yeavering. But I was a bit miffed because I got up there, well, I was going to do Yeavering Bell, and I just thought there was a trig point on the top. Then when we got there and I checked, there wasn't. So the next nearest trig I could see on the map was Wester Tor. So off we went, got up there, took the selfies, do what you do, and then came back, had a look in the book to mark it off in the book, and it's not even blooming listed in the book. So yeah, I was a bit miffed, but anyway, hopefully get 2 done today, possibly 3. Although I've got to say this weather, miss me. I've got to say this weather's not particularly inspiring at the moment. So I've just driven up from the village of Alnham to Alnham Church. I'm just going to have a little bit of a mooch. I haven't really got a religious bone in my body, but I do quite like a bit of history and stuff. So if you want to read this little story, press pause. And there's a little guide to a nice little circular walk that you can do there, 6 miles. It says allow 3 hours for it. Let's go and have a little mooch around the churchyard. Quite a little comedy fence going on here. There's an electric fence around a graveyard. I don't know whether that's to keep people out. There's a squawky goose, whether it's to keep them in or out, or sheep in or out. I'm just going to have a little mooch about. I've got to be honest, I'm glad I wasn't around when these were built. I'll be smacking my head off these door frames constantly. Lovely house next door, tower house with peacocks. So the church was open. I'm just going to pop my head in and have a look. Look at there. Local jam. Visitor's book. Lovely little spot. The underfloor heating. I bet this takes some heating. Sorry, I'm not boring. I can't switch off from work. £17.46, age 15. St Michael and All Angels, a fascinating 12th century church. I'm going to have a read up on that, see if it's what else it tells us. Oh, that's lovely. It's just nice the way these places are left open. And you can come in and just have a little look round. I'm just going to say I wonder what that is, but judging by that there's one there, I'm guessing back in the day there was some sort of up and over arch thing going on. And that was the foundation stones. Beautiful little spot. I was dying to have a ring of the bell. The rope was just dangling at the back of the church, but it's not cricket really, is it?